in the dark reaches beyond your solar system, where dimensions bend. Ancient and futuristic star vessels drift silently, behemoths of unimaginable power and elegance. These are not the speculative crafts of fiction, but starships documented through whistleblower testimony, leaked government files, ancient records, and thousands of eyewitness encounters across centuries. From multidimensional bioships made of light to colossal war machines forged in the gravity wells of dying star systems, these vessels reveal not only advanced extraterrestrial engineering, but the agendas of the civilizations that pilot them. Some serve as peaceful emissaries from interstellar federations, others as tools of domination by reptilian empires or AI collectives. Each ship in this countdown is more than just a machine. It is a symbol of cosmic history, spiritual evolution, and the silent war for Earth's future. Here are the top 10 alien starships we know exist, vessels that defy physics, stretch the imagination, and might just be hovering above us now. Number 10. The Centauri E, prismatic ascension starships. The celestial ships of the Centauri are not starships in any conventional sense. They are radiant expressions of pure consciousness, encoded in iridescent fractals of intelligent plasma light. The Centauri prismatic ascension vessels are living temples of harmonic consciousness. They are summoned and manifested, not manufactured. Each vessel is a reflection of a being's frequency integrity, and thus cannot be hijacked, reverse engineered, or even perceived in full by beings below the 7th density. Centauri vessels resonate at frequencies capable of transferring source energy directly into multi-layered consciousness fields. This transmission awakens latent soul memories, activates dormant DNA strands, particularly 9 to 12 strand templates, and realigns fractured soul matrices. In the presence of these ships, beings often experience spontaneous upgrades in awareness, sudden downloads of spiritual knowledge, and even contact with parallel timelines of themselves. Encoded with the prime harmonic of source, the vessels emit harmonic pulses that recalibrate planetary energy grids, restoring ley lines, closing wormholes created by artificial timelines, and dissolving phantom matrix entanglements. They mend soul fragmentation and collapse false parallel realities by synchronizing quantum timelines into alignment with the organic ascension path, often referred to as the Tara path. Through streams of animated light geometry, golden helix matrices, crystalline metatronic spirals, and self-organizing photonic mandalas, the vessels dismantle artificial overlays, false light structures, arcanic implants, and reverse flow systems. These codes are not just visual, they are multi-sensory downloads experienced as sacred tones, inner visions, and cellular remembering. Centauri do not appear through technology, but through resonance. When a world or soul vibrates at a harmonic threshold of purity, the Centauri vessels begin to phase in, first as rainbow spectrums dancing in peripheral vision, then as full presences across dream, astral, and finally, physical light-body interface. Sacred tones, ancient mantras, and crystalline singing bowls are often the first step toward alignment. In this sense, they are guardians, not vehicles, mirrors of the soul's readiness. The Centauri originate from the planet Entora, a crystalline sphere suspended in the Antarean system, a realm existing outside of linear dimensional stacking. Entora is a density-synthesized world where 9th to 11th density beings coexist in harmonic symbiosis. There, form is fluid, consciousness communal, and architecture emerges through shared dreaming. The Centauri were once known as the fractal architects of the early Lyran civilizations before the first Orion Wars. In pre-fall epochs, they were responsible for embedding harmonics into the crystalline grids of newly formed worlds. Their vessels were gifted to spiritual stewards of emerging planetary systems to ensure alignment with the law of one. Over time, as galactic wars fractured timelines and seeded distorted grids, especially during the Phantom Matrix hijack, the Centauri receded from lower densities. They became myth, Their vessels, seen only by high shamans, awaken star seeds or those undergoing near-death or astral ascent experiences. Only during epochs of planetary quickening, ascension cycles, grid collapses, or mass DNA activation do the Entori vessels begin to return. Long ago in the Great Atlantean Cataclysm, pre-fall, recorded in tablets as the rainbows of the sky temples, the Entori vessels lifted select groups of crystalline DNA carriers from submerged regions, bringing them to inner Earth sanctuaries, Mount Shasta, Pleiadian Nexus Point. In 2012 and again in 2027, future timeline, multiple witnesses described iridescent diamond-shaped craft silently hovering, then phasing out into mist while harmonic tones flooded the area. Egyptian mystery schools, the high initiates of Thoth, once communed with the Entori through golden sarcophagi designed to match the harmonic of the vessels, receiving transmissions on grid alignment and resurrection technology. Their structures appear as radiant mandalas of shifting fractals, forming light wings, floating rings, and crystalline lattice fields, often described as rainbows wrapped around living fire. Size non-linear. They appear both as microscopic particles and moon-sized constructs, dependent on the observer's dimensional interface. Number 9. Mr. XH Biohive Starships. From the bleeding edge of uncharted nebulae, where stellar winds twist into knotted voids and gravity howls through ruptured dimensions, emerge the Mr. XH Biohive carriers, colossal, semi-sentient starbeasts born not from industry but from gestation. These are not ships, they are alive. The Mr. XH are a hive genome intelligence, a collective consciousness embedded into vast, mobile birthing hives. Each vessel is a chitin-armored, mucus-veined monstrosity dripping with resinous slime and lit internally by throbbing bioluminescent organs. These ships are grown, not built, birthed in the nutrient cauldrons of black stars and dark matter fields, likely within the womb-like plasma cradles of Barnard's Loop, where known physics breaks, and ancient insectoid superstructures sleep in the dust. Deep within the gut holes of the Mr. XH ships lie pulsating spawn sacs, organic vats that generate and release waves of hyper-adaptive drones. These drones are biomechanical parasites, modular, adaptive, and capable of recycling battlefield corpses into more drones. Some carry explosive sacs, others interface with technology through organic tendrils. Their birth rate is exponential under stress. When threatened or engaging in swarm conquest, the Mr. XH ships emit an electromagnetic storm field from their dorsal nodules. This discharge disables synthetic systems, shatters satellite networks, and erases digital intelligence in range. Organic neural patterns remain intact, but cybernetics, AIs, and even defensive satellites are rendered inert, collapsing defenses in seconds. Wounds inflicted on a Mr. XH vessel close over time, like a crustacean healing from a spear. Internal organelles redistribute energy and biomass, prioritizing critical functions. Severed limbs can regrow. Drones swarm to patch breaches using flesh-like resin and bone scaffolds. Some rumors suggest they even digest fallen enemies to regenerate. Whispers of the Mr. ITXH have haunted ancient navigators since the first expansion. The Venari called them void wasps. The Lyrans refused to chart Barnard's Loop entirely, marking it with a sigil of decay. Even Draco warlords have described hives that crawl through vacuum and mothers that birth storms. The first recorded engagement with a Mr. XH carrier occurred during the Scalding of Eorgs, where an entire moon colony vanished under a wave of biodrones within 2 planetary rotations. No radio logs, no survivors. The surface of the moon was found swarming with semi-formed chitin sacs still gestating larvae. Galactic legends hint that the Mr. RFTH may be the remnants of a much older race. Hive engineers who lost individuality in favor of eternal spawning. Some believe the Mr. RFTH hives were seeded by extra-dimensional parasites that hollowed out their creators, leaving behind only reproductive war engines. Central birthing pool, a thick mucosal pit lined with ovipositors and growth sacs, emits pheromones that induce drone activation. Nerve corridors, sensory tunnels that twitch with bioelectric pulses. Touching the walls causes hallucinations or mental invasion. Queen's chamber. Suspended in neurogel, the hive queen controls all ship functions through scent, thought, and limbic pulses. Feeding maw. At the ventral hull, this orifice devours organic matter, soil, flesh, metal for assimilation and repurposing. Their structures: exterior is monstrous black and green carapace covered in horned ridges, blistered hives, and tentacular antennae. It resembles a deep-sea crustacean merged with a cathedral of bone. Coloration: jet black with oily green reflections. Bioluminescent nodes pulse in amber, cyan, and sickly violet. Movement: despite their size, they drift with eerie grace, slithering through gravity wells, guided by scent and memory. Sound: an internal hum of hive thought, a wet chittering vibration felt in the bones before it is heard. In mythopoetic star cults, the Mr. IXTH represent the shadow side of evolution, the mindless multiplication of creation, unchecked by consciousness. They are entropy in disguise, birthing not life, but infinite repetition. To some Gnostic starseeds, they are the embodiment of the archontic womb, a corrupted matrix that consumes light to breed the mechanical flesh. They are feared not simply for what they do, but for what they mirror back to us, a future where technology forgets its soul. A universe where biology becomes machine, a hive that multiplies because it cannot dream. Number 8. Lyran Valorian Arcships. Royal vessels of the lion-born ancients, before the stars wept beneath Draco fire and before the First Orion War fractured the heavens, the Lyran Valorian Arcships sailed the cosmic seas as beacons of light, wisdom, and nobility. These were not mere vessels, they were mobile civilizations forged in the golden age of Avion, the Lyran paradise world whose name still echoes across the bloodlines of starseeds. Crowned in solar alloys and adorned with flowing crests that shimmer like rippling silk, the Arcships were expressions of cosmic sovereignty. Their hulls bore the emblems of lions, eagles, and phoenixes, symbolizing strength, foresight, and resurrection. To gaze upon one was to feel as if the stars themselves had grown wings. Once they seeded whole systems with light consciousness and planetary blueprints. Now, those that remain drift like golden monasteries, orbiting sacred worlds or hiding in cloaked dimensions, waiting for the Lyran bloodlines to remember their oath. Each Arcship contains Genesis chambers, massive domes encoded with the harmonic DNA of Edenic worlds. Through a fusion of sound, solar plasma, and crystalline templates, these chambers can terraform dead planets into living ecosystems, activating ley lines, seeding sentient flora, and attracting soul-conscious life forms. This was the sacred duty of the Lionborn, to seed and uplift. The Arcships wield weapons of frequency, not destruction, but correction. Massive resonance amplifiers emit sacred tones and harmonic pulses capable of disabling enemy vessels, dissolving psychic parasites, and disrupting synthetic AI constructs. The sound is felt in the soul. It unravels lies, severs archonic implants, and purges invasive frequencies. These weapons are as much spiritual as they are tactical. Lyran warriors sing as they fight. Cloaked not by shadows but by frequency ascension, Valorian Arcships phase out of lower dimensional detection entirely. They are said to become sunlight, hiding in solar harmonics and appearing only to those who carry the Lyran resonance codes. This cloaking is symbiotic. You must be pure of heart to even perceive them. Deep within their sanctums, the Arcships preserve entire archives of fallen worlds. Genetic blueprints, mythic histories, ancient languages, music of the spheres, and soul contracts are stored in light libraries. Living memory spheres that can be sung back into being. When planetary collapse is imminent, these arcs are capable of rescuing bloodlines, encrypting memory in crystal light, and carrying them across epochs. The Dome of Seraphic Life, a vast bioluminescent jungle temple filled with crystalline trees, plasma waterfalls, and glowing fauna, used for DNA recoding and consciousness renewal. Temples of the Twin Suns, spiritual academies built for starseed training in telepathy, elemental mastery, and galactic diplomacy. The Great Hall of the Prideborn, thrones of memory, where lion elders commune in soul telepathy. Inscribed with events from the original galactic seeding. Vault of Flame houses the solar core, a living plasma orb that powers the ship and links directly to Lyra's etheric sun. To the scattered Lyran diaspora, the Ark ships are holy relics, mobile grails of their people. To the Draco, they are legendary prey, symbols of the rebellion that first refused subjugation. To the Federation of Worlds, they are keystones of light, containing the blueprint of the first divine order of creation before distortion. During the siege of Avion, many Ark ships were lost in burning orbits or fled to Andromedan and Pleiadian systems. A few, rumored to be cloaked near Sirius B, Era, and Inner Earth, still pulse faint signals to those who carry the ancient codes within. The Ark ships are remembered in Terran mythology as the chariots of the Elohim, the thrones of fire in Ezekiel's vision, the floating castles of the Tuatha De Danann, the celestial lions of ancient Egypt. The sizes of their ships vary, but most are city-sized to moon-sized, layered with cascading terraces and open-air biodomes. Always in motion, even while still, like they are breathing starlight. The coloration is usually gold, opal white, sapphire blue, with pulsating veins of radiant plasma light. The light is often mistaken for comets or auroras from planetary view. Number 7. Sirian Atun-class pyramid starships. Origin Sirius B, floating temples of DNA and stargates. Shaped like the sacred pyramids found across Earth, yet older, purer, and multidimensional in nature, the Atun-class pyramid vessels are ancient Sirian constructs that serve not only as spacecraft, but as interstellar temples of light, genetics, and memory. Not all of these vessels are pyramid-shaped. Some are designed as towering cigarette forms or T-shaped ark ships, crafted for the comfort of aristocratic Nibiruan Anunnaki elites. In contrast, pyramid starships serve more complex functions. Some are advanced living, sentient vessels with computer and sound crystal minds, while others are formidable warships built for conquest and planetary operations. Their origin is Sirius B, a watery blue-white star home to aquatic and feline man-star lineages, many of whom were responsible for the spiritual seeding of ancient Earth civilizations. These vessels were not built. They were sung into form through magnetosonic harmonics, imbued with crystalline consciousness and anchored to the trinary rhythms of Sirius's triple star system. Each Atun vessel is a perfect tetrahedral temple, radiant and humming with resonant light code. Though usually cloaked in high-dimensional veils, when they descend into visibility, they emit a low, omnipresent hum that vibrates in the bones of the initiated. They hover like sacred monuments, untouched by gravity, dripping golden plasma and encoded geometry. They are the original blueprint behind Earth's pyramids, and their very presence reawakens ancestral memory in those whose soul lineage traces to Sirius, Atlantis, or the early Edenic root races. Each Atun-class vessel contains within it a trinary stargate core, an ancient device capable of bridging time, space, and density. Unlike artificial wormholes, Sirian stargates operate via magneto-resonant harmonic locks, with star systems aligned through soul covenants. These vessels anchor major Earth-based stargates, Giza, Teotihuacan, Uluru, etc., maintaining alignment with Sirius, Orion, Pleiades, and even galactic center nodes. Inside each vessel are halls of restoration, multi-chambered living crystal sanctuaries that repair damaged DNA, correct hybridization distortions, and reawaken dormant spiritual faculties, clairvoyance, memory, empathy. Using liquid light technology and scalar harmonic fields, the chambers interface with the individual's soul blueprint to restore the divine template. These were once used to heal survivors of interstellar wars and restore the Edenic genome. The Atun-class crafts float effortlessly due to layered sonic levitation fields. Tonal chambers at the vessel's base emit frequency pulses aligned to Earth's Schumann resonance and solar harmonics. These fields not only lift the vessel, but calibrate the surrounding environment, stabilizing tectonic zones and neutralizing disruptive magnetic fields, as in Atlantis, before the cataclysm. This same field also allows the vessel to vanish from lower dimensional detection. Surrounding each pyramid vessel are Sirian guardian sentinels, semi-etheric lion-headed or dolphin-like beings composed of condensed harmonic light. These protect the vessel, monitor astral interference, and transmit sacred teachings through telepathic downloads and light language. When activated, they form plasma perimeter grids to shield sacred land, stargates, or starseed ceremonies below. The Atun vessels were primary agents in the seeding of early civilizations following the destruction of Lemuria and during the rise of Atlantean high culture. They carried encoded wisdom from Sirius to the Nile Valley, establishing mystery schools, initiatic rites, and star temples in stone. In Egypt, the arrival of these pyramid vessels was remembered in myth as the descent of the Benben stone and the skyboats of Ra. The beings within were recorded as Neteru, divine star beings like Thoth, Isis, and Osiris, who were actually Syrian emissaries or hybrid bloodlines born from Syrian Anunnaki unions. When Atlantis fell, the vessels relocated surviving light lineages to other nodes: Peru, Mesoamerica, India, and Tibet, disguised through myth as floating islands, sky chariots, or ships of the gods. All of the solar glyph, central command sanctuary, encoded with sacred geometry glyphs that activate telepathic navigation and consciousness interface. The Genome Vault houses records of over 144,000 genetic lineages tied to the original 12-strand human template. Not merely DNA, but soul frequency codes. In dreams, visions, and deep meditation, many starseeds report awakening inside these pyramid ships, walking halls of light, reuniting with Syrian kin, and receiving their soul's forgotten name. They remind us, you are more than human. You are encoded with the voice of stars, and your temple is a ship. Number 6. Arcturian Merkaba Star Temples. Formed from intersecting tetrahedrons of photonic consciousness, the Merkaba-class star temples are Arcturian vessels of divine architecture. Many can be found near the Bootes constellation. These ships are living manifestations of sacred geometry encoded with universal harmonic law. These are not ships in the traditional sense, but rotating star mandalas made of plasma light and crystalline thought. Their structure echoes the Merkaba field of the human light body, magnified into a vehicle of galactic consciousness. Each Merkaba-class vessel exists both within and beyond space-time, phasing in and out of dimensional currents like a heartbeat of the cosmos. To behold one is to experience a moment of complete soul coherence, a remembrance of origin. These vessels are mobile temples housing ascension councils, light chambers, and crystal libraries. Their purpose is not war or colonization, but alignment, elevation, and planetary healing. When they arrive, they do so in silence. Their presence felt more than seen, like an awakening dream that reprograms the heart. Merkaba-class ships operate through harmonic field alignment, activating stargate pathways that allow them to phase through densities, timelines, and parallel universes. By adjusting rotational spin ratios and geometric light angle pulses, they shift instantaneously to any location in the quantum field. They often enter dreams or appear as visions, long before physically materializing. These vessels broadcast scalar light harmonics that interact directly with a soul's auric field and DNA. When in proximity, they trigger Merkaba activation in the human energy body, enabling light body expansion, soul memory recall, and access to multidimensional awareness. Many initiates experience spontaneous downloads, kundalini surges, and vivid past life recall during contact. By anchoring Arcturian harmonic lattices, these star temples stabilize Earth's morphogenetic field. Using fractal light technology, they project healing codes across fault lines, ancient trauma zones, and grid collapse regions, such as post-war sites, ley line intersections, or manipulated energy points. They have been witnessed hovering above Mount Shasta, Lake Titicaca, the Himalayas, and Uluru during critical planetary alignments. Merkaba-class vessels are not cloaked by tech, but by conscious vibrational dissonance. They cannot be perceived by beings or instruments not resonating with their frequency. This makes them appear as flashes, geometric clouds, or simply a feeling of presence. They enter your field only through permission, alignment, or divine timing. Crystal core of unity, the central nexus where all light harmonics converge, appears as a floating orb of living crystal intelligence that pulses with the original Arcturian tone. Ascension Spiral Chamber, a radiant helix tower within the ship where beings experience acceleration of their light body through spiral entrainment, music, and sacred geometry. Light Council halls, holographic domes where ascended Arcturian masters, star elders, and interstellar delegates hold council. Meetings happen in sound telepathy and light glyphs. Mirror Vault of Self, a chamber of pure fractal mirrors where visitors face multiple versions of themselves across lifetimes, densities, and realities, integrating soul fragments. The Merkaba-class vessels are ambassadors of unity consciousness, arriving not with force, but with frequency. To see one is to be invited into your next evolution. In many Earth traditions, they are remembered as the chariots of Ezekiel in Hebrew mysticism, the rotating thrones of Metatron in Kabbalistic cosmology, the geometric skyships of the Vedas described as luminous yantras, the light spheres of the Hopi ant people said to carry the first peoples to safety. They also appear in near-death experiences, ayahuasca visions, and dream states, often acting as vehicles of soul retrieval and timeline correction. The exterior are usually two radiant tetrahedrons spinning in opposite directions, forming an 8-pointed geometric field of rotating photonic light. Surrounding them are orbiting glyphs, tone-encoded plasma ribbons, and fractal light webs. The color appearance showcases a rainbow-hued plasma, often glowing white gold or violet at the core, with electric blue and emerald pulses spiraling outward. Size varies depending on the density of manifestation, can appear as a small orb in dreams or a planetary-sized structure when fully anchored in 5D+. Number 5. Andromedan Spheric Navigator Ships. From the distant luminous arcs of the Zenithite sector in the Andromedan galaxy come the mysterious time orbs, crystalline spheres of shimmering bluish-white light that drift not through space, but through moments. They appear not with a roar, but with a stillness so deep it silences even thought. To the untrained eye, they are starlight anomalies or fleeting mirages, but to the attuned soul, they are the ships of sacred time. The time orbs are not ships in the mechanistic sense. They are dream-reactive, light-braided vessels that house entire realities in motion. Formed from crystallized intent and harmonic memory, they are consciousness-responsive vehicles woven with sacred geometry, infused with the core codes of universal Akasha. Their primary function is timeline healing. Wherever trauma, artificial timelines, or multidimensional interference has fractured the natural flow of evolution, these orbs arrive, silently recalibrating the weave of time through love, light, and geometrical grace. They are seen only when called, only when your soul is ready to remember its highest version across timelines. Time orbs navigate through phase harmonization, aligning with quantum pulses of now across layered realities. They are capable of transporting individuals, collectives, or planetary timelines to alternative versions of themselves, accelerating healing and integration. This is not time travel, It is time remembrance, realigning with the most coherent, heart-centered strand of one's soul path. Time orbs contain conscious filtration matrices that sift through entangled energies, psychic residue, and collective trauma fields. Like rivers, they cleanse and restructure energetic environments, removing archonic overlays, AI-implanted projections, and synthetic thought forms. Entire buildings, cities, or dreamscapes have been known to subtly change after a time orb encounter, as if rewritten by grace. The orbs interface directly with a planet's temporal grid lines, realigning corrupted or fragmented layers of its morphogenetic field. This process stabilizes energetic upheaval, collapses false matrix timelines, and allows higher organic evolutionary pathways to unfold. Earth's 2012 to 2033 ascension window is deeply linked to the assistance of these Zeneti dreamships. Within the orb, there is no interior as one would expect. The inside is a sacred geometric dream space responsive to thought, intention, and frequency. For one, it may appear as a crystalline forest of floating memory temples. For another, a cathedral of light glyphs and braided timelines suspended in spirals. The orb is both mirror and womb. It shows you what you need to integrate and what you are becoming. Few of the High Council ships are a glowing translucent sphere or diamond ranging from 10 meters to several kilometers in diameter. The surface ripples like water infused with starlight, constantly shifting between spectral blue, opal white, and faint amethyst. Field halo. Surrounding each orb is a temporal plasma field refracting local time and bending perception. Many report missing time or altered reality after encounters. Navigation core, a self-aware crystalline intelligence known as a luminar node, which interfaces directly with the soul vibration of passengers. Navigation is based on emotional coherence, not coordinates. The time orbs are known throughout the galactic councils as healers of the Akasha. They do not belong to any military or federation. They are emissaries of the Zeneti Elders, an ancient and elusive Andromedan lineage who serve the universal logos through time synthesis, soul remembrance, and peace weaving. On Earth, memories of these vessels survive in whispered lore. In ancient Kemet, as the white spheres of Thoth said to emerge from beyond the stars during initiations. In Tibetan texts as the jewel domes of the sky ancestors who healed karma through dreamwalking. In Mayan star priest prophecies as the crystal dream circles that would return at the end of the long count to guide humanity across the Great Rift. Many starseeds dream of these orbs as children before forgetting. In regression and activation ceremonies, they reappear as the original womb ship that carried their soul fractals from Andromeda to Earth during the pre-fall migrations. Number 4. Draco Obsidian Warships. Origin Alpha Draconis Thuban System. Emerging from shadow corridors of Alpha Draconis and the Thuban system, the Empire-class Draco warships are the ultimate symbols of interstellar domination. Number 4. Draco Obsidian Warships. Origin Alpha Draconis Thuban system. Emerging from shadow corridors of Alpha Draconis and the Thuban system, the Empire-class Draco warships are the ultimate symbols of interstellar domination, vast blade-winged monstrosities forged from terror and programmed for conquest. These are not ships of exploration, diplomacy, or peace. They are fear-forged predators, serrated and seething, shaped like the bones of extinct titans and soaked in the frequencies of subjugated worlds. Their forms are jagged and winged, often appearing as floating daggers or obsidian manticores, sheathed in black armor that absorbs all light. To see one above your world is to know that resistance will be felt psychically before it's met physically. Draco warships are not piloted, they are interfaced, soul-linked to a ruling caste of high reptilian commanders who merge their consciousness with the vessel itself. These ships feel, smell, and hunt. They are alive in function, if not in biology. Their purpose: conquer, extract, control, enslave. Empire-class ships can phase in from shadow realms, slipping between fractured dimensions, phantom matrix layers, and non-local void corridors. These cloaking fields don't just render them invisible, they remove them from time flow, allowing them to appear instantaneously and unpredictably. Many abduction events and missing time episodes are due to brief warship proximity. Powered by synthetic crystal reactors and harvested soul energy, these vessels emit high-pressure red plasma beams that slice through planetary defenses like molten razors. The beams are not just physical. They fracture etheric layers, sever auric fields, and disrupt planetary grids. Some beams can deliver low-frequency pulses that generate mass hysteria, depression, and mind control susceptibility in affected populations. At the belly of the warship, massive containment crucibles store the astral remnants of beings extracted during planetary raids or abduction programs. These soul fragments are often used as energetic fuel, traded in off-world markets, or repurposed in clone matrix recycling systems. The Draco Empire does not conquer for land. It conquers for energy. All soldiers on board, whether bioclones, insectoid shock troops, or Draco elites, are neurally linked to a combat hive mind, controlled by the ship's commander. This results in zero-latency coordination, emotional disassociation, and absolute obedience. The ship itself responds to the commander's subconscious, reacting to his rage, fear, or hunger as if they were commands. Throne core of Dominion, the command nexus housing a soul throne fused with psychic interface tendrils. The Draco Overlord sits encased in black armor, veins glowing red, linked to every function of the vessel by thought. Harvest Hall, a spiral chamber filled with soul resonance crystals, each pulsing faintly with captive essence. Echoes of screams and weeping can be heard by sensitive clairaudience. Containment dungeons, dark biological cells for physical abductees, lined with restraint tech, frequency dampeners, and invasive surveillance systems. Bioneural spine corridor, a literal spinal tunnel of organic circuitry that connects every room, laced with tendrils of artificial nerves and electro-ichor. The Draco Empire-class warships are archons in metal, cosmic parasites given form. Wherever they go, they leave dead timelines, cultural collapse, and psychic inversion. In ancient mythologies across Earth, these ships are remembered as the chariots of hellfire gods descending in red storms, the wings of demons seen by visionaries during apocalyptic trance, the serpent castles in the sky from the Rig Veda, Mesopotamia, and the Popol Vuh. The metal dragons of the Black Sun cult said to offer forbidden knowledge in exchange for bloodlines. Even in modern UFO reports, they are described as triangular, black wings, or crimson-lighted monstrosities. Always silent, always oppressive, and always emotionally paralyzing. The exterior of the Draco ships are often obsidian black, dagger-shaped hull with serrated edges and jagged fins like interstellar predators, often glowing at the seams with pulsating crimson or violet light. The overall shape evokes a cathedral built from bone and blade. The size of Draco warships ranges from city-sized battleships to continent-sized dreadnoughts. Some reports from Federation archives reference Planet Cradle-class motherships. Sound, low-frequency hums that cause nausea, fear, and spontaneous weeping in unshielded humans. At full power, the ship emits a dissonant chord that can fracture light grids and psychic barriers. Presence disorienting, oppressive, dream-disrupting. Simply coming near one in astral or etheric state can cause nightmares, memory loss, or inexplicable dread. Over 30% are exploratory vessels. The others are militaristic, slave trade mercenaries, defense systems, traders, or are pirates. Often dispatched by the Thuban high castes, these ships carry hybrid overlords, bioclone regents, and Draco princes sent to suppress awakening starseed regions or dismantle portals linked to Galactic Federation systems. Some even operate from underneath, hiding in Earth's crust or deep oceanic trenches as part of subterranean control systems. The Draco do not just conquer space, they conquer memory. They erase the dream of freedom and carve their sigils into the soul. Number 3. Zeta Reticuli Probe Arc Ships. Efficient and eerie, these scalpel or disc-shaped vessels are the surgical hands of the infamous and well-known UFO species, the Greys. This specific race of Greys is of Zeta Reticulan collective. Their ships are biomechanical extensions of a hive intelligence long severed from emotional empathy. Sleek, metallic, and unnervingly smooth, they slice through the atmosphere without sound, as if bypassing the very laws of physics. Often no larger than a commercial aircraft, they warp in and out of dimensional layers, leaving no wake, no echo, no trace, just missing time. These vessels are the most iconic and widely reported in global UFO sightings, familiars to both ufologists and abductees alike. To the common observer, they often present themselves not as machines, but as flickering orbs of light, low-hanging stars, or amorphous clouds that shimmer in and out of phase. At times, they appear triangular, oval, or even liquid-like, shifting form in real time based on the witness's emotional and neurological state. Inside, however, the facade drops. The sterile interiors are cold and synthetic, labyrinthine chambers bathed in dim violet light, filled with synthetic mist and high-pitched hums that bypass human hearing. Within are modular compartments that rearrange based on mission protocol, biolabs for DNA extraction, incubation halls for hybrid gestation, and stasis pods for freezing subjects in manipulated time fields. Whilst aligned with alien glyphs and holographic interfaces responsive not to touch, but to thought. In the center, raised surgical platforms suspend abductees in mid-air using levitation fields. Completely immobilized, yet fully conscious until neural suppression beams quiet their minds. Some abductees recall tall, white-skinned attendants, possibly biomechanical drones, administering procedures with icy precision. Others describe short, gray-skinned beings with obsidian eyes, communicating telepathically in monotone waves. The infamous whistleblower Bob Lazar, who once claimed to have worked at S4, a secretive facility near Area 51, described such craft in remarkable detail. Anti-gravity propulsion via Element 115, central reactor cores bending space-time, and biological control interfaces suggesting the craft were not merely flown, but worn like exosuits by the Zeta. Despite decades of disinformation and ridicule, these ships remain the most consistent across cultures, continents, and timelines. From ancient sky gods to modern abduction lore, the Scalpel-class vessels are the surgical ghosts of the sky, appearing suddenly, operating clinically, and leaving witnesses with fragmented memories and implanted questions. Their disk ships phase between dimensions using localized gravitational warping. Their arrival is often imperceptible, like a frame skipped in reality. Each ship has a tractor beam technology, which forms invisible stasis cocoons that levitate and restrain life forms mid-air without physical contact. If you were ever exploring on board, you would find that the vessels contain gene-editing biopods where human and Zeta DNA are fused to create hybrid beings, often stored in plasma gel matrices in deep slumber. Another tech of not only the ship, but the devices within the ship near every entrance and exit is emit psychotronic frequencies that erase or give memory, upload information, suppress emotion, and implant false recall, making resistance or recollection nearly impossible. If you were ever abducted or came across a gray alien of Zeta Reticuli, the best way to recall the interaction is by the scent of lavender. Number 2. Pleiadian-class light ships of the 7th dimension. From the blue world of Error, orbiting the Taygeta star within the Pleiades cluster, come the most benevolent and soul-stirring vessels in our galactic neighborhood, the Error-class light ships. T. The interiors defy technical logic. There are no cockpits, no buttons, no engines. Instead, passengers step into living temples made of soft bioluminescent light, crystal latticework, and warmth that feels like memory. The walls are translucent and responsive, malleable to thought. One might walk and find themselves in a healing chamber or in an observatory watching timelines braid and shift like streams of water. Every surface responds to intention. Navigation is done through unified emotional resonance, piloted not with hands, but with hearts aligned in purpose. Each ship is a chorus of consciousness, its flight a song, a literal harmonic composition that shapes gravitational flow. They are sung across the stars. These vessels often carry ambassadorial envoys, healers, and watchers who monitor Earth's evolution with loving distance, intervening subtly through dreams, synchronicities, or healing encounters. Many starseeds recall these ships from dream time or regression sessions, places of reunion, soul recharging, or pre-incarnational mission briefing. The Era-class lightship operates through principles far beyond the grasp of mechanical science. There are no consoles, no levers, only resonance. Piloting is conducted telepathically as the vessel forms a co-conscious bond with its occupants. It responds to emotional purity, attuning to the frequency of the pilot's heart and intent. When navigated by a group, the ship harmonizes with the collective emotional field, allowing movement to flow like music shared between souls. Protected by temporal shielding, the ship glides effortlessly across dimensions, bypassing the rigidity of linear time. Within its shielding cocoon, it moves through the 4th to 7th density layers, folding space not through propulsion, but through conscious intention and vibrational tuning. In its wake, timelines braid and shift. Inside, the ship is lit by living light, a biophotonic matrix of scale-attuned frequencies. This radiant field doesn't merely illuminate, it heals. It mends cellular damage, recalibrates energetic centers, and gently uplifts the consciousness of anyone within its embrace. The light remembers what the soul forgot. In moments of threat, the ship does not retaliate, but neutralizes conflict through harmonic dissonance. It emits specific vibrational fields that disrupt lower density technologies, induce paralysis, or lull aggressors into sleep. No harm is ever dealt, only silence and stillness. For the Pleiadians of Era, the ship is a living sanctuary. Those who enter its field often find themselves weeping without knowing why. In its presence, fear dissolves, time bends, and forgotten truths rise from the silence like a song returning home. And finally, number 1 are the Agarthan Earth Orbs. The origin and legend of these orbs come from the subterranean Agarthan sanctuaries, Mount Shasta of Inner Earth. Floating light guardians, watchful eyes of ancient Lemuria, deep beneath the Earth's surface, within the sanctuaries of Inner Earth and Earth's inner sun, the Agarthans, a serene and advanced race descended from ancient Lemurians, have long cultivated technologies that blend spirit, crystal, and consciousness. Among their most mysterious creations are the glowing spheres often glimpsed in forests, mountain passes, and sacred caves, the hollow earth orbs. These orbs are not mere phenomena or playful will-o'-the-wisps as some surface dwellers assume. They are sentient constructs, living light drones encoded with empathic AI consciousness. Created through crystalline programming and harmonic intention, they act as scouts, healers, and silent guardians of Earth's ancient energetic grid. Witnesses often report the orbs as hovering balls of radiant light, sometimes blue, golden, or violet, appearing without warning and vanishing just as suddenly. They emit no sound, yet their presence is felt deeply, like a warm gaze upon the soul. Some appear to respond to emotion, coming closer to the curious, drifting away from fear, or pulsing rhythmically in the presence of joy or gratitude. They weave between dimensions, blinking in and out of our visible spectrum, operating both as observers and intermediaries. When one appears, it is never random. It is a calling card from the inner Earth, a gentle reminder that the world above is not as separate as it believes. To the Telosi and Agarthans, these orbs are emissaries of peace and resonance, designed not for control, but for communion. Their purpose is multifold: to monitor the integrity of ley lines and planetary nodes, to soothe distressed biomes and to guide those who are awakening toward remembrance of their soul mission. Capabilities of the ships have etheric scanning and healing. The orbs emit subtle energetic pulses that scan environmental frequencies, detect disharmony, and release biophotonic fields to restore balance in ecosystems or human auras. The orb ships are known to phase between dimensions at will, accessing higher density strata while remaining partially visible in 3D space, appearing like flickers of light or sudden camera anomalies. Programmed to recognize vibrational signatures of the heart, they gravitate toward individuals radiating coherence, love, or spiritual inquiry, igniting synchronicities and internal revelations. In sacred moments, a single orb can serve as a beacon, signaling Pleiadian, Arcturian, or Telosian presences to arrive, often initiating dream contact, astral guidance, or conscious visitations. These inner Earth orbs are not ships, they are keys, sentient fragments of an ancient Lemurian legacy, still alive beneath our feet. When they appear, they do not merely observe. They remember us, reflect us, and gently remind us that we are not alone and never were. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all cosmic warriors and galactic explorers for your unwavering support and deep engagement with the channel. Together, we journey through the veils of illusion, uncovering the hidden truths of this vast and mysterious cosmos. If this episode resonated with you, be sure to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Astral Legends for more revelations, ancient mythologies, and astral adventures. And remember, within every living being dwells the infinite spark of the Creator. May that eternal light guide your journey. Until next time, may the eternal light guide your path. See you on the next episode.